Welcome back, everyone. That's right. It's Sunday, and that means it's the start of a brand new week here on DSP Gaming. Well, it's going to be a good one. Today, we got a brand new game in the rotation that we're going to give a shot and see if it's any good. Over the course of this week, we'll be continuing on with many awesome playthroughs. And then this all culminates on Friday with the release of the incredibly hyped Call of Duty Black Ops 7. On today's show, we'll do a little bit of a recap of how everything's been going, but also I've got a positive update on some stuff. We'll chill, and we'll get this week started right. Nothing too crazy today, but at the same time, it's always good to start a brand new week with a bang. And the fact that we're going to be actually trying a new game today is interesting. I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts about the original Outer Worlds before we start Outer Worlds 2. We'll hang out. We'll do some Q&A. We'll go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, November continues. So sit back and relax. It's time for a week-beginning episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, folks. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to DSP Gaming. Yesterday was my day off after a 6-day streaming week, which was a great one. We wrapped up Silksong. We continued on with many other playthroughs. We determined what the next games would be. And I am very excited. I hope that you all are too. And I hope that you're ready for some fun. So, what's going on? Today is Sunday, the 9th of November, 2025. I hope you all had a safe and fun Saturday. I did. I had a nice relaxing day off with my wife and Jasper Kitty. Nothing too much to really talk about there. Nothing crazy happened or anything like that. I am gradually, every week, buying a few more components of what will ultimately make up our Thanksgiving dinner. Coming up on Thursday, the 27th, is American Thanksgiving here in the United States. And we always have a nice big meal. This year we're going to have turkey roast. We're going to have some potatoes of some sort, not sure yet, some kind of a casserole. We're thinking green bean casserole, some stuffing, cranberry sauce, rolls, all kinds of stuff. And so every week I buy a little more. Like 2 weeks ago I bought the turkey. Last week what did I buy? I guess I didn't get anything last week. This week I got the stuffing. Like I figure space it out. And that way we got it slowly coming into the house rather than it all hitting at once. And all of a sudden you get a big increase to your weekly food cost. If you space it out one thing a week, it's not that big of a deal, you see? So we're getting ready. My wife is planning, what she's going to do. And I know that many people are doing that right now. We're planning their American Thanksgivings and wondering what it's going to be this year. Great vibes right now. The fall gaming season is in full swing. Many new games hitting weekly. It's been absolutely great to continue with all of these playthroughs with all of you and have a great time here on stream. And things are going good. Today, it's a little bit on the warmer side. Today, it's in the 60s outside, temperature-wise, and there's full sun. So that means the office will be warmer, and there's nothing I can do about that. But it's actually the warmest day of the week. After today, it cools down for the rest of the week. So that's why I'm wearing a little bit of a lighter thing today. But maybe I'll start wearing sweaters and stuff, sweatshirts later this week. We'll see. And I hope that you all are ready for some fun. It should be a good day today, particularly to test out Outer Worlds 2, which came out about a week ago now. And the only reason that I didn't jump into it right away was because we were already playing like 5 games. We had to at least wrap up or decide if we were going to continue some games. And the good news is we did just that. Last week, we continued, and concluded Hollow Knight Silksong, which absolutely was a great playthrough, and it ended well. Loved the game. And we decided not to continue with Ninja Gaiden 4 because, quite frankly, it was incredibly repetitive and wasn't really, doing it for the stream viewers. So now we have some time in the schedule to try some new stuff. Today we are going to give the Outer Worlds 2 a shot. And if you remember, many years ago, I'd say it was like 5-6 years ago. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was. I actually played the Outer Worlds 1. Now, the Outer Worlds 1 was definitely a dividing game. And what I mean by that is some people absolutely loved it. Some people hated it. Some people were in the middle. I think it really depends on what you're looking for from an open world space RPG. In the department of the writing, the plot, and the world design, I actually think the game excelled. The plot itself of the universe being dominated by corporations, people all kind of joining different corporate factions, and this was almost like, political ideology, but there's like no politics anymore. It's all about business. Was certainly an interesting and cynical take on modern society. And I definitely think that a lot of the quest lines, the character dialogue, and the kind of way that you go about doing things in the game being so open was very interesting. I do feel like the game was full of repetition and a lot of boredom when it came to things such as the combat. The combat left a lot to be desired. Basically, go around this open world just blasting everything in full FPS action, every once in a while charging up a special ability. It didn't really matter how you went about the combat. It was boring no matter what you did. Even though the game pretended like there were different ways to go about it, it was incredibly boring. So for me, it was like, hey, we're on a new world. Let's explore. Let's talk to characters. Let's do missions. Great. Then it was like, oh, we got to go open world and we have to walk from point A to point B through the world and fight a bunch of monsters. Fall asleep for the next 20 minutes. That's kind of how it was. It was this like love-hate relationship style game. Ultimately, I did like the Outer Worlds 1. Certainly wasn't my favorite game, but at the same time, I had a good time playing it. It was very, how can I say, with the audience. I remember particularly the audience was divided. Some people actually really enjoyed watching me play it, and others got very bored. And there was this mix. So here we are years later. It's Outer Worlds 2. It's the sequel. Has it changed at all? Will it be more of the same? Will it have improved upon some of the things that were shortcomings of the first game? Or did they literally just re-release the second game, another time here with just a few tweaks to the story or whatever? I don't know. To be honest, I haven't really followed it that much, particularly. But I did get a couple of small tidbits of advice. For example, I've been told that basically this game is not like Fallout in a certain regard. Outer Worlds 2 is a game where you absolutely need to decide what you want to focus on, and you have to stay that course, because if you try to be a jack of all trades, you won't master anything, and then you can't do anything in the game. Like, let's say, for example, at the beginning of the game, you decide that you want to be a master of unlocking, so you start putting points into lockpicking. But then halfway through, you say, oh, I think the dialogue is more important, so I'm going to try to do speech. Well, by the end of the game, you won't master either, and you're going to not be able to do any of the challenges by the end of the game that you would want to do because you made yourself too diversified. From what I'm to understand, you really do need to focus in on very certain things. Okay? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, man, we have to kind of decide right away. What do I want to do with my playthrough? So we'll think about that. I don't know. Dialogue and the whole speech aspect of these style of games. Keep in mind, this is Obsidian who made Fallout New Vegas. And with Outer Worlds 1, yes, speech was also very important. Is that going to be the focus, or should we go different? Should we actually go for unlocking, for lockpicking? I don't know. Do we want to go with brute force? Do we want to go with intelligence and know-how? This is one of the things we'll have to try to figure out today. Now, here's the thing. Things are a lot different today than they used to be, thankfully, because things are just better now, okay? I'm in a situation where at any given moment, I'm being asked by a wide group of people to do different things. Hey, will you play this game? Will you do this piece of content? Will you interview someone? Will you chill with us? Etc. Right now, I have absolutely no commitment to having to play this game outside of a stream or two. Like it's a Game Pass game. So we boot it up, we try it today, we see how it does. If it does decent, maybe play it again. But if it doesn't continue to engage and make an audience be entertained, then we don't have to keep going. Unlike previously, where I'd buy a game and I'd be like, well, now we got to play it from start to finish because, there's nothing else to do and I can't afford any games. That's not the case anymore. All right. So let's see how it goes today. Let's see maybe later in the week how it goes, right? I want to at least give it maybe a couple of streams, give it an honest shot. If we're all bored by the end of a couple streams, we don't have to proceed. We could just say, you know what? There's many other things people want to see. There are. Right now, at any given moment, we could play other games like the new Hyrule Warriors, or we could check out some of the games that we started, like My Friendly Neighborhood or Poppy Playtime, or, those horror games that people said, oh, I really like them. Well, we could get back to some of those, especially because a lot of those games aren't very long. So they'd be perfect to kind of do a little mini playthrough in the middle of everything else that we're doing for variety purposes. We could do that. Ultimately, we're just looking for a game to balance with everything else this month. The big release this month absolutely is Call of Duty Black Ops 7 coming out on Friday, which we'll talk a little bit about. I'd like you to know how I'm going to cover it. So let us see how things go today. Let's see how things go maybe with another stream this week. If it's working well and we're all enjoying and people are engaging and supporting the streams, we'll keep it in and we'll do a real, actual playthrough of it. Okay? So good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? I see many people are now joining the stream. Who do we got this morning? We got Griffin. We got Chris. Banana Jose. Tony Blue. Shao Kahn. Artemis Fowl. Tweeter. Original Grant. And I saw Jade was in there too. What's going on, Jade? He said he was just stopping by to say hello. Over on the kick side, enjoyer of content, RGB Kings, Ortega's there, username already taken. Who do we got? Eddie Chill, Peaches Delight. Who else is over there? Soy Rage, that's an interesting name, Soy Rage. We got Ellipsians here this morning. Gino Day is here, Hybrid's here, Raphael. How you doing? Or is it Rafale? I don't know how to say your name. Gold Roger, what's up? Poxyland, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all ready to chill. I'm excited for a new week. This is going to be a good week, a good balance of content. Continuing on fun playthroughs like Pokemon, which has been super fun, super chill. Tormented Souls 2, so we got survival horror in the mix. Some more American Truck Sim. I don't know when the DLC comes out for Truck Sim. I'll have to give that a look. I don't think it's out yet, but I'm excited for this Canadian DLC coming up. More Mortal Kombat. After Friday, people are saying they want me to play more Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. And I'm like, the game is rough, but if you guys really want it, I'll play it. Like, I know that people engaged with it when we did play it earlier last week. We're in the midst of this water dungeon, and I remember what we got to do to go next, like a labyrinth dungeon. I'm down for playing more of that this week, so we can play some of that. Of course, Outer Worlds 2 today. We're going to give it a shot and see if it's any good. And then coming up on Friday, that's the big one. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this. Let's address this. The game that's coming up, the big impending bomb. And when I say bomb, it could either be something that's going to blow up and be very exciting or something that's just going to bomb. But I think it'll do well. Typically, even when Call of Duty isn't that good of a game, it's still entertainment for the audience, right? So Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is coming out on Friday. For the first time in many years, there is no advanced release. Meaning, it's not like, oh, people on one format get it first. People who bought the collector's edition and paid $20 extra play it first. No, they're not doing that at all this year. Instead, everyone just gets it worldwide on Friday. Now, that's a double-edged sword because as much as you get excited, wow, everyone gets to play at the same time, everyone's going to be hype, right, and jumping in. That's true, but at the same time, that means everyone's going to slam those servers at exactly the same time. So chances are we may want to play it on Friday afternoon, and we go to play it, and everything's crapping out and crashing. And if that happens, there's not much that can be done. Maybe mess around a little bit with the offline content, but let's be honest, people don't play Call of Duty for offline content. They play it to jump online and to get into crazy kill streaks do wild things with gadgets and gizmos, silly stuff. So that's how I'm going to treat it. And the way that I see, I'm very excited because it's the first time I'm going to get to play this on mouse and keyboard. Where's my keyboard? Someone stole my keyboard when I was gone. What happened? No, what actually happened is my mouse and keyboard are wireless. So this is my other one because I have two of the same keyboard. My mouse and keyboard are wireless keyboards, and they last a while. They have rechargeable batteries inside that last, I'd say, about a week, and then I got to charge them again. Well, one of them has this weird thing where if you try to charge the keyboard when the PC is off, there's a 50-50 chance it works. I know that sounds weird. I don't understand why. You'll plug it in because here it is. Here's the port, right? You'll just plug it in. It'll show glowing as if it's charging. And then later on, you'll unplug it and go to use it. It'll say it has 0 charge. That's what happened. I tried to have all my equipment charged when I was off. I came back in this morning. It says 0 charge. I don't know why. So it's charging right now. It'll charge during the podcast, and then it should be charged in time for gameplay. Not to say that I'm going to need the keyboard to play Outer Worlds 2. I'm going to use a controller, but obviously to navigate the menus when you're doing configuration of graphics and everything, I want to have the keyboard working. Anyway, but I'm going to be playing Call of Duty Black Ops 7, okay, on keyboard and mouse starting this Friday. And I'm excited for that because when I changed from playing on the Xbox Elite 2 pad to keyboard and mouse for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, it felt like I was playing a whole new game. It felt like the controls were just so much greatly improved. And I was so happy that I had keyboard and mouse controls. And I was doing well. I started to go on crazy kill streaks. I started sniping, which I had never done before. And I was doing good with sniping. And then I was going on crazy melee streaks. So I feel like it'll be more of the same. When I played the Black Ops 7 beta, I very much enjoyed it, even though I thought I was going to hate it. I ended up liking it. So it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. Like, I know the game's not good, but if I'm enjoying playing it and you guys enjoy watching me play it, then I don't really mind that it's not good. Of course, I'm not going to tell you it's good. I know it's not. It's, a fucking supposed to be a military shooter where you have a triple barrel sniper rifle that vaporizes any enemy with pretty much little to no aiming, or a melee class that's so stupidly busted, you cloak like the Predator, you sneak up on enemies to get kill streaks, and then you just artificially get health back every kill so no one can kill you. Like, what? Yeah, that's Call of Duty, right? The military shooter. No, it's not, but that's what Call of Duty has become. Like, that's what they turned it into over the years. But the thing is, I am having a lot of fun with modern shooters. I can't wait to try this on keyboard and mouse. I think it's going to be a good time. And yes, I will have headphones as well. I know that when I played the Black Ops 7 beta, I didn't wear headphones. I'll have the headphones working for some surround sound as well to try to improve my game. So, should be fun. I hope you guys will be here. I'm going to play that all day long on Friday, like both streams. Because the thing with Call of Duty is, unlike Battlefield 6, Call of Duty has almost non-stop frequent unlocks. And what I mean by that is, as you play, you're constantly unlocking content, a new gun, new attachments for said gun, a new score streak, a new piece of equipment, which allows you to make different builds. Make a sniper build, make an LMG build, make a run and gun build, but then make like a melee build. And you could have all these and swap between them. So we could have challenges for people to say, hey, I challenge you to, get 15, 20 melee kills this game. And I see if I can do it, right? It's exciting stuff. People used to do these wagers when I used to play Call of Duty, when I used to have the channel points back on Twitch. Now we can do that again on Kick. Yeah, pretty cool. I hope that you guys are excited for Call of Duty on Friday. I absolutely am. After covering it all day Friday, it will then hit the rotation where I'll probably alternate it in with other games. I don't know if I'll do all daytime streams of it. I don't know if I'll do day and night streams and alternate. We'll see. And also, it's going to depend on how other things are going with other games as well. If we already have Outer Worlds 2 and Pokemon in the rotation, then I might want to have it be more like night streams. But we might want to do longer day streams of it as well, depending on how things are going. I don't know. We'll see. I'm very curious how you guys will receive this game on Friday. I'm excited for it. I'm actually quite pumped for it. But let's see what happens. You never know. Sometimes I anticipate that a game is going to do really well and it flops. Sometimes I play a game on a whim, never thinking that it would ever do anything, and it just completely successful. So let's see how this goes on Friday. Okay? Okay. A lot of people are trying to talk to me. We got a few shout outs to do as well. Let's see here. Mateo is saying Black Ops 7 not recommended on keyboard due to aim assist. I don't care. I know that there's cheesy ass aim assist for scrubs and noobs. I'm not using it. I'm gonna use keyboard and mouse. I'm gonna play like a man. Triple Jesus, I already beat Outer Worlds 2. I love and hate it. It's my favorite game of the year. How could you hate it, but it's your favorite game of the year? Interesting. Gold Rodder says, do you think you'll get good at Call of Duty? Let me put it this way. No, I will not be competitive in any way, shape, or form. I don't desire to be. You know, to be competitive at any one of these modern games, you have to sink an insane amount of time, effort, and investment into it. And I just don't have any desire to do that. I'm not going to be joining an esports league. I'm not going to be trying to go around the world competing. I don't care. However, I do want to at least be decent. I do actually want to be able to go on kill streaks and score streaks and show off and have some fun with you guys. That's the idea, not to just suck constantly. If you're just going to suck constantly, you know, why play? You want moments of failure, but you want to overcome them and also have moments of triumph, right? That's the idea. So do I think that I'm going to be amazing at the game? Absolutely not. But I do think that hopefully I'll get good enough that eventually we will have some fun. I think we, you know, we'll enjoy ourselves. I'll get some kill streaks. We'll unlock stuff. It'll be fun. And like I said, the whole premise of challenging, like, hey, let's challenge Phil to use a sniper rifle and get 20 kills this game. Let's challenge Phil to try to get a 5 kill streak and not get killed. Can he do it, right? That stuff is fun, and that's stuff that we haven't done in Call of Duty in a while because we haven't had channel points. Now we do. On Kick, we can do those kind of wagers. Okay, so that's neat. Instead of just doing moral support messages, we now have a reason to actually do the wagers. Yeah, exactly. Knife only. Can Phil get a 10 kill streak with a knife only, right? Those are good challenges to do. Okay. All right, let's do some shout outs. We have Girdleseng. I can't even pronounce this. Girdleseng 9307, who became a member this morning. Thank you for the membership, Girdleseng. Let's get you on the leaderboard. I believe we have a couple of tips to look at as well. We start off with a $2 tip from Slayer this morning, who says, looking forward to Outer Worlds 2. I'm playing it, and I'm currently level 7. There are some things you get locked out of without progressing high level in certain skills. So there you go. That goes along with some of the information that I already had been given about the game. That your build is actually quite important in the game. And depending on what you choose for your build, you'll be able to do high-level stuff, but other things you can't. You can't be a jack of all trades. Right. Thank you, Slayer, for that. And it looks like there might have been another tip. Also from Slayer. I'm currently using and recommending focusing on observation, engineering, hacking, lockpicking, medical, and speech. A hybrid is good. Also on the map, any area with a building figure you can explore to get items or even get missions. Any area with a building figure. I don't know what that means. A building figure? I guess we'll have to find out when we start playing. All right. Well, thank you, Slayer, for the early morning support here. I appreciate that. I say early morning, but it's actually not early morning. It's almost afternoon. Okay. Something's making a noise in here. I'm wondering what it is. Give me 1 second. It was my air purifier. So I have an air purifier unit, a Shark, that I've had in here, I don't know, 6 months. I had it through the summer. You know, I actually got it in like spring, summer, and I've had it through then to now. And originally I got it because my old air conditioner was stinking. And I thought, oh, this will like clean the air. But then I got a new air conditioner and then the air stopped stinking to begin with. But anyway, I realized I've had this thing running on high for like ages. I'm like, I don't need it on high. I'll just turn it on auto. And what happens is if it detects that the air is like lower quality, then it turns on higher. But I don't need it on high forever. So I just turned it on auto and now it's fine. It was making some noise, like a wobbling noise. Like, oh, great. This thing probably wasn't supposed to be on high endlessly. And I have had it on high for like months. So watch me break it now. Anyway. All right. So, good stuff, guys. So let's get it caught up on where we are and what's going on with everything. All right, first off, we're at 3 out of 10 goals hit. All right, already. And we just did DSP tries it for the, what the heck was it that we just did that was great? Oh, Jollibee. The return to Jollibee was a rousing success. Massing. a massive rousing success. Jollibee was amazing. Okay. So the next DSP tries it when we hit 10 goals of support reached is Thai food, which I have never done on DSP tries it before. And to be honest, I'm not really sure what I will actually be having. You know, Thai food is very diverse. You could get different noodle dishes, rice dishes, fish dishes, curries. They use a lot of peanuts in their cuisine, which is great. So I guess we'll see. So that's the next DSP tries it from a nice Thai restaurant. After that, we'll reassess. However, a couple things coming up. Number one, before Thanksgiving hits, there is a Thanksgiving sandwich that Arby's is doing, and they also have a new apple pie shake. That's a possibility. Also, on December 2nd, Burger King is doing a new SpongeBob SquarePants tie-in meal to coincide with the release of some new movie that he has. I didn't even know he had a new movie coming out. So this meal is a, get this, Krabby Patty Whopper, where the bun is shaped like a square, which I guess is supposed to be how the Krabby Patty is shaped in the actual show, plus some kind of new cheesy bacon top bites, a piece of pie that's supposed to be based off of Patrick Star, and something else too. So it's like 3 or 4 different things that are being added to the menu, and you'll be able to order it as an actual like meal in itself. So there's like a special drink, the burger, the tots, and the dessert all in one like combo. So makes sense that should be something that maybe we should try and see if it's any good. That's coming up December 2nd. So whenever that first week of December hits, we could probably do that. And then we'll go from there. So let's see how it goes. But I'm thinking Thai food this week. Next week, maybe we do this Thanksgiving sandwich, and then we see how things, progress with support. If we need more or not before or around Thanksgiving. All right, cool. So let's get some support rolling for today's podcast. It would be ideal if we could maybe hit around, I don't know, $100 by the time that the show ends. That way we get a huge head start. We don't have so much ground to make up for Outer Worlds 2. Just saying. If you like the content, please support it. On the YouTube side, you can do super chats, or you could become a member or gift memberships to the community. On the Kick side, you could become a sub. You can give some subs to your fellow viewer, or you could contribute with kicks. Or if you are watching from wherever you are, you can always tip via my PayPal. All right? Right now, we got 1 membership and we got 2 tips. Can we get our first super chat of the day? Can we get our first sub of the day or week? And can we get some kicks? Well, ask and you shall receive, because, ladies and gentlemen, I just received 5 gifted memberships. Okay, so it looks like Prime XXZZ just gifted 5 memberships to the community on YouTube. People are getting them, but for some reason, they're not popping up. It looks like the service here is not working properly. I don't know why. I'm going to get those on the leaderboard, though. Congrats to those who got the gifted memberships. Yeah, I don't know why the pop-up service is not showing those being divvied out, because they were. You can see in the chat 5 people got them. That's weird. I don't know. I'm hoping that this pop-up service starts working for kicks, but I don't know if it's going to. They added them and then they don't work. It's been over a week now. It's very frustrating. Let's see here. Go down to kick. Yeah, the kicks are enabled. So we'll see if and when someone sends some kicks this morning or afternoon, if they will pop up or not. If not, I'll still play manual animations for anyone who sends kicks over on Kick, okay? All right, so we got some memberships. Thank you. Can we get our first super chat of the day right now on YouTube? Can we get our first sub of the day on Kick? And can we get our first kicks of the week on Kick? Can we get some support from the other avenues, please? That would be a very good way to start the week. Jade says he had gone to that convention, and he says he met Devon, X-Pac, Kimberly, and some guys from My Hero Academia. Excellent. I'm glad that you had a good time, Jade. I'm glad that you're back safe as well. And thanks for stopping by. He says he doesn't know if he's interested in Outer Worlds 2. He's probably not going to stick around. Well, that's all good. It's going to be more on the stuffy side in here today, because it's full sun outside, not a cloud in the sky. That heats up this room. Plus, the temperatures outside are warmer today. I might need a coffee, because when you get stuffy in here, that's when I start to get it, yawny. Mission Vow asks, what was your favorite aspect of the Outer Worlds 1? Like I said, the world that was built and the creative way to do some of the missions. The fact that these missions had different ways to do them, the dialogue, and if you want to decide with one group or the other. Um, and the whole world that, the universe is being dominated by corporations, very cynical in that way, but then you can decide who you want to side with and stuff. I liked that about it. The combat was the worst part. The exploration and the story was the best part. Super chats are not working today. Are they not? If they're not, I will restart the stream. Let's find out. Yep, it looks like somehow the stream got limited for no reason, so I'm just going to start a new one. Yep, no worries. No worries. I'll just cancel this stream and start a totally new one. Seriously, it's just nonsense when this happens. All right, so here's what's going to happen. If you're on Kick, don't go anywhere, okay? If you're on YouTube, there will be a new stream that will be created. All you got to do is move over to the new stream, and we'll just continue right where we are right now. In fact, what I'll do is I will pause the podcast, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm back. If you're watching this on demand as a video, you're like, what just happened? So what happens with YouTube, and this has been happening more and more recently. It doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while, YouTube's AI is atrocious. And its AI will flag a stream, citing that a stream is adults only. Was there any content whatsoever so far on today's stream that was adults only? No. But the AI is bad. And so the only way to clear that up is to try to dispute it and everything. But the thing is, what's the point? I'm live streaming. I'll just make a new stream. So I just did, and now we're good. And immediately we already got a super chat. So here we go. So we have Cabal, who did a 10-pound super chat, first super chat of the day. He says, Phil, looking like the uncle who always gives you good life advice. I have no idea what that means, but thanks for the $10 and for the support. Escanor says, did you see that Keemstar made YouTube deal with the Argentinian loophole? No, I don't follow Keemstar. But if he did, good on him, because, man, it's been an ongoing problem for people for many, many years. And it sure would be great if they could, permanently fix that problem, right? No. I don't lose any. Someone just says, if a stream ends up being flagged and demonetized for adults only, do you lose any support? No. All it does is it basically, once a piece of content is flagged on YouTube, whether it's a video, whether it's a stream, whatever it is, it no longer can get super chats, and it no longer can get advertisements. It could still get memberships, okay? And I believe if someone still watches it with YouTube Premium, it could still earn revenue that way. It just can't earn revenue via ads or super chats, which makes no sense. The super chats should not be involved, but YouTube doesn't know what they're doing. They don't know how to run their own business. There's no reason why someone shouldn't be able to put a super chat on an adult-rated piece of content. How does that make sense? In order for you to super chat, you have to be 18. You literally have to be a legal adult to super chat. So why, if you're watching a piece of content that's flagged 18 plus, can't you super chat? Zero logic, but again, it's YouTube. It's the people there who think that they're smart, silver spoon in the mouth, Ivy League trained. They're all idiots. So they actually think that they know what they're doing. They don't. It's dumb. So no, I didn't lose any support or anything from earlier, but I had to make a new stream in order to have this one have super chats again. So there you go. Okay. So thank you, Cabal. I appreciate that. Now, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, finding out that super chats weren't working. All right. Please, let's get some support for today's first stream. So far, we have our first tips of the day from Slayer. We have our first super chat from Cabal. We have some memberships. Can we get some kick support? Can we get our first sub of the week or some kicks of the week? How about 100 kicks from someone? Get a nice kick going. We'll have some animations going. Let's get some kick support. And again, like I said, what I would like to do is by the end of this show, I would like to hit $100 of support if we could get it. All right? That would be a great head start heading into the gameplay for today. Okay. Now, folks, I have an update. I have an update you all want to hear. All right? I'm sure you're ready. Are we ready? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks ago, on this very show, I had a guest. Does anyone remember? No? You don't remember? Oh. Well, it's my featured video. It's been the featured video on this channel for about 2 weeks. It was my interview with Wings of Redemption, and it was groundbreaking. It was the first time the two of us had ever actually met and had a conversation. Lasted about 2 hours. People really seemed to enjoy it. But it was definitely an introduction conversation, meaning we covered a lot of ground, but it was all just like very general stuff. And I asked for feedback since then on what did you guys think, you know, and I asked for feedback from Wings as well. And excuse me. In general, the consensus is very positive. People seem to think it was a good thing. It was an enjoyable conversation. It was the meeting of the minds for the first time in many years that, people wanted to see this. They've always asked for Wings and I to do stuff. And they said, it went well. I agree. Okay. But I very much also agree that it was really an introductory thing. Like we didn't get too heavy into anything because it was so broad because it was our first time we ever met. It was 2 hours of general conversation. Correct. So I told you last week that my idea going forward was maybe every once in a while having Wings as a guest on the show again, right? I don't want to do it all the time. Number one, I don't want to do a regular show with Wings because I don't think, number one, he would want to commit to that, or number two, that he would be willing to do a regular show because he already has said that at some point, if his money dries up, he's going to end up going back to Lol Cow Live. And as you know, I have nothing to do with that show. I want nothing to do with that show. And I just, I'm not going to start something up that's a commitment that then gets, dropped or fails because he wants to go do Lolcow again. All right. So I'm not going to try to talk with this guy about locking him into something. It wouldn't make sense. Right. But I feel like every once in a while, having him on the show as a guest, a general guest, just for conversations purposes, I think would work well. Because some people were like, well, will you do gameplay with him and stuff? I'm like, I don't think that would work. He gets heavy into FPS games. Like, he plays a lot. He tries to get good. I really don't. I play them at a casual level to have fun and entertain the audience. He actually tries to get good. And I don't think I'm going to commit enough time to any, even Call of Duty Black Ops 7 coming up this week. I don't realistically see myself dedicating so much time to it that I try so hard to get good like he's going to try. And I'm not at that level. I don't think I want to be. I'd much rather be a variety streamer balancing a lot of stuff. So the whole point of like, what games are we going to team up in? It wouldn't make sense, right? But I feel like having him as a guest on the show every once in a while is refreshing. It's good to not just have me talking the whole show or having talked to you, but instead having someone to go off of a conversation. I tell you, that 2-hour conversation was fascinating. I learned a lot about the guy. A lot of it opened up more interesting questions and things. All right. So here's the deal. I've spoken to Wings, and Wings of Redemption will be a guest on this show again near the end of this month. That way it's not too soon. We give some time to build it up again. All right, now you might say when. I'd like to have him on around Thanksgiving, but it's not clear if he's going to be earlier in the week or if he's going to be that next week, like the first week of December. It's either going to be like that week, the final week of November, probably like Monday-ish. Like, I think it was like the 24th, 25th, 26th. I think it's the 24th. Or it might be a week later on like December 1st. But we haven't decided yet. I'm waiting back to hear from him on what are his preferred, dates or so whatever, when he wants to come on. And once I hear from him and we lock it in, I will let you know exactly when he will be on again. All right. So this time around, I think what it'll be here is we're going to probably talk about a few different things. Obviously, we're going to be near American Thanksgiving. So obviously, I'd like to talk a little bit about the holiday, how he celebrates, if he does. Did he celebrate it as a kid with his family, and is that different from what he does today as a tradition? Stuff like that. Does he stream on the holiday? What's it all about, right? Also, another big thing, a big topic will be Call of Duty Black Ops 7 will have been out for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to want to get his opinions on it, what he thinks about the game, how is he doing, how are his streams doing? You know what I mean? I think that's going to be a fun conversation as well, because that's something he's going to be heavily into. And then based off of that, the conversation could go in a million different directions. Already there were topics that we had started to talk about in our first interview that basically we said, well, let's talk about it later. And of course, we didn't get back to it. So we could. We get back to those topics and elaborate more on them and stuff like that. So I think we'll see how this goes. All right. This will be kind of not, instead of just the first time cold open deal, instead it'll be more like, all right, well, now we're having our second convo. How will it go? And obviously, I'd like to know from you guys if there's any topics you would like us to discuss or you'd like me to bring up with him. I would love to hear it. Not saying that I'm guaranteeing that I'm going to do that, especially if it's very, very toxic or negative, but I would love to hear your opinions on what are the things you'd like to hear me talk to Wings about, questions or whatever, what do you think? All right. So basically, we have a couple of weeks. All right. To talk about this and build it up and get hype. I don't know the date yet. Once I know the date, I will actually make a placeholder stream like I did last time. So that way you'll have a place you can favorite that stream. It'll be there highlighted for when you want to get excited for it or whatever. And yeah, I think it will go well. And I hope that you guys will attend it, obviously, and give me your feedback. Your feedback is critical to this being, successful. Okay? Cool. All right. So that's coming up. And I will let you know once I have more details. Someone says, ask him about fast food. Maybe I will. Listen, this guy knows way more about fast food than me. You guys constantly come to my streams and you say stuff like, have you ever tried Zaxby's? I'm like, I don't even know what the hell Zaxby's is. And people will be like, well, we know about Zaxby's because Wings on his streams eats the food he talks about all the time. So, yeah, maybe we could have that conversation. I don't know. So, let me know what you think. What could be done on this appearance, and we will go from there. And again, I will let you know when I know more about locking it in with a date and time. Okay? Cool. All right. Well, at this point, folks, I have basically covered all the topics that I wanted to cover for today's show. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open it up to Q&A. Here, I'll type in both chats, so you should be able to tag me now, and we should have some fun conversation. Whatever you guys want to chat about, tag me in chats. Let's do some Q&A. Let's see where the conversation goes. If if it goes well, we'll keep going. If not, we end the show whenever you guys are getting bored, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Would it be possible to do a DSP tries it with Wings? He orders the same thing from his local place, so you compare your findings. I mean, maybe. I don't feel like we're there yet. I feel like long term that could be something. Sure, but I don't want to, not now. Right now, it's only our second time that we're going to be doing anything together. I'd much rather just chill with the guy and have conversation than start eating and testing items, but maybe later. I already just answered the question about playing games with Wings. I'm not repeating myself. Rewind the show. Are we going to get $2,000 stim checks? No, we're not getting any more stimulus checks. Do you think Wings followed any of my health advice? I have no idea. I'm not watching his content, so I don't know if he's followed my health advice or not. What do I think Wings fans want to talk about? I don't know. How would I know? Why are you asking me these questions that I can't possibly answer? No, the hot fixes have not helped the latency of the Mortal Kombat collection. They've already issued like 5 hot fixes, and people are saying they're just very minor tweaks that haven't really done anything significant. Everyone's waiting for this supposedly big online update they're going to do for the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, but they said that was going to be 2-3 weeks out from its release. It's only been out for a week and a half now, so we still have a ways to wait, I think. How about I go on his stream this time and do him a favor? He doesn't run a podcast. I do. He literally doesn't run a podcast, nor does he have a set schedule. In fact, he said himself in his content, one of the best things he likes about being a YouTuber is he doesn't have to have any kind of a set schedule or run anything as like a real show, that he can just turn on and stream whatever he wants and stream. That's the complete opposite philosophy of me. Like me, I'm a very structured individual. I like having a set schedule with dates, times, slots for what we're doing during those times. All of that is like critical to my success as a creator. And in fact, that's how I like to operate. That's how I like to run my business. Wings is the polar opposite of me. He wants to just be free to turn it on and off whenever he wants. No structure, no set shows, nothing. That's okay. Variety is the spice of life, and everyone can be different. And that's fine if that's how he operates his stuff. That's up to him. But that also means that I can't join his stream because you never know when he's streaming. It means there's no show to join. You understand? Like, I literally do this every day. Well, okay, I used to do it every day. Now I do it like every other day. I have the structure. I have everything set up to work. I could give Discord callers and everything. He doesn't have anything set up. So, real huge asshole, auto subbing for 7 months. That's our first Kick support of the week, and it's automatic. Can we actively have someone actually gift a sub or do a Kick over on Kick? That would be nice if we could. Can we get our first Kick support of the week? Like I said, I would like to hit $100 of support by the end of the podcast, if possible. Frosted Shard says, if you're worried that he might go back to Lolcow Live, why not having signed a legal contract with mutual rules? Because he doesn't make money doing the show with me. He makes money doing Lolcow Live. That allows him to essentially have freedom because he makes the money he does doing Lolcow Live, correct? Right? Exactly right. So because of that, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, let's sign a contract so that if you need money, you can't go make it. What am I, an asshole? No. The guy has the freedom to do whatever he wants. I would never set him up with any kind of a agreement or contract that says he can't go make money for himself and do what's best for his family. That would be pretty selfish of me, don't you think? 220, please don't start with drama. You know well that what happened on Friday had nothing to do with you. You weren't even here when it went down, so just stop. Stop trying to cause drama in the chat. You know it has nothing to do with what you're saying, and I don't like that you're trying to cause drama. Thanks. What happened Friday was very clear, a very clear situation of trolling. You weren't involved, and I was not talking about you, and you know that. Which do I think was the most disappointing food of DSP Tries It this year? Subway. Nothing's going to top Subway. That was by far insanely disgusting food. All of the sandwiches were insanely disappointing. Not one was appetizing. The dessert was borderline poison. I mean, seriously, that dessert should not have been eaten by a human. It was like eating fucking chemicals and rubber, and they're selling that as a dessert in their stores. I'm baffled. Good Lord, I can't believe, man. You know? Cabal says, I actually watched Lolcow Live because Phil talked about it here. To be transparent here, Cabal, I've never talked about Lolcow Live at all unless someone asked me about it. I've literally not seen a moment of the show outside of highlight clips that Kino Casino was watching when I happened to be watching them. Or if someone sent me like a clip or something or talked about it and I heard about it in a chat, I've literally never watched it ever, nor do I have any intention to. And that's not saying anything negative about it. I just don't care to. That's not my kind of content. I don't find it entertaining. I don't watch things that I don't like. You see, I don't force myself to watch things I don't like. I only watch things that I do enjoy. So, you know, that's very different. I know a lot of people out there hate watch and stuff. I don't do that. So, Big Boss with the $2 super chat. Taco Bell Baja Blast Pie. DSP Tries It. Not only do I not have any idea what that means, I don't want to know. I really don't. If you're saying that they made a pie that tastes like the Baja Blast soda, that might be the most revolting thing I've ever heard. And I don't want to barf all over my setup while I'm on a podcast here. So please tell me you're joking. Cracker Jack says, do I watch any other YouTubers? Oh, yeah. My wife and I have different YouTubers that we like to watch together. There's some YouTuber stuff that I like to watch myself. All right. But I would never publicly talk about it because of the crazy, insane, trolls. They would go harass these people. So you'll never hear me bringing up a name of, oh, I like this video from this person. No point. Because then the person will just get harassed. Oh, yeah. Apparently the Outer Worlds 2 lets you kill any NPC in it. Really? That's weird. Wouldn't that break quests, though? Like, how would you continue the game if you kill a critical NPC? The Baja Blast Pie is real. I don't care. It's disgusting. That is absolutely revolting. That's correct. If you're a YouTube Premium member and you watch someone's videos and their channel is monetized, they receive revenue from your view as if you sat there and watched all the advertisements that you were eligible for on the channel. So let's say you started watching my stream from the beginning today and you watch it till the end and you're a YouTube Premium subscriber. You didn't see a single ad, but I got paid as if you had watched all the advertisements from that stream. So YouTube Premium is great. It helps creators a lot. It really does. Yes, I have YouTube Premium. I wouldn't be able to use YouTube without it. Anytime we watch a video or a trailer, there'd be ads all over it. You know, you have to have YouTube Premium to even make it, you know, like viable for business purposes. Can we talk about drama? What about it? What about it? Drama does not benefit me in any way, shape, or form, nor has it ever. That's the truth. When I stick to gaming, when I stick to topics that pertain to me and my expertise, or things that I'm good at, those are the things that do well, not drama. For example, right now, take a look. I just received a $50 super chat from Nico Bellic, who says, "The king is back. Let's have a great week of streaming." Thank you, Nico. Do you hear any drama there? Was there any drama in what just happened? This generous $50 contribution. So that's what I mean. Me sticking to my lane, doing what I'm good at, that's what brings in positive attention and support for my content. The drama stuff never benefits me. It can get me views. That is true. When you do content that's considered drama, you can get extra views. But views do not equate to success. They never have. Literally, since day one when I started on YouTube, subs, views, that shit never mattered. It doesn't equate to success. It doesn't. It's not attention by any means necessary. A lot of people believe that. That's, in my opinion, that is idiocy, and that's the wrong way. Because, the problem is, if you give into drama and you become someone that benefits from the drama, sadly, what's going to happen is you're going to always be beholden to the drama. Once you become a part of that cycle of, I do something that's embarrassing, I do something that's dramatic, that's aggressive, just to get attention for myself, what's going to happen is people are only going to want to talk to you or see you for that content, and that's it. And the moment that you want to go out and do other stuff, it's too late. People already know you as the drama person, and that's what they're coming to you for. And that's what they're going to want further from you. And if you don't give it to them, now guess what? You're shot. You can't do anything else. It's either drama or the highway, or drama or go out of business. And that's the slippery slope that a lot of people have fallen down. They start as one kind of a creator, they like it, but then they're failing at it, so they run into drama, and then the drama's successful, so then they start doing it, but then they realize there's no way out. That's it. You're done. You're in that cycle forever. You're stuck in that toilet, floating around. You know what I mean? So it's very rare that people can get in and out of stuff. And I'm one of the few people who, I kind of jumped into it a year ago, and I got out as soon as I saw that it was going bad, because that was my plan to begin with. And I didn't get too attached. I didn't get too much into that shit. And I'm good now. Overall, people don't want drama here on this channel at all. There are some people who every once in a while, they think it's kind of fun to have a little bit of drama as part of the equation. But overall, if we're just going to be here enjoying games, chilling, doing chill streams, enjoying each other's company, right? How does drama factor into that? Quite frankly, it doesn't. It becomes more of a distraction, more of a, oh my God, now everyone's talking about you again in a negative light. I don't care. I just want to do my content. I want to be left alone. Everyone shut the fuck up about that nonsense, because I don't care, I don't pay attention to it. I know. Banana Jose says, "I'm glad that you got out of what you were doing, because it looked like you were going to lose a lot of your old fans." You're right. There were people who were outright longtime fans of mine who were writing me saying, "I cannot be a part of your content anymore if this is the route you're going down." And I always knew that. Like, that was always the thing in the back of my mind, is I know I'm doing this right now for a temporary boost. It's getting more eyes to see me at a neutral stance, which is all I ever wanted. And it worked well. And now I'm in a much better position today than I have been in a long time. And I'm happy that I did it. I'm happy that I got out when I did. It all went according to plan, thankfully. It could have went wrong, but it didn't. Streams are going good. Overall, Idiotic Tank streams are going good. I now co-stream, because Idiotic Tank says, "I haven't been here in a while. How are things going?" I co-stream. I stream both on YouTube and on Kick, so I do have a split audience. The YouTube side is more of the longtime viewers and supporters. The Kick is more fresh blood and a lot of trolling, but they're completely different kinds of audiences, and they do kind of balance off of each other well, in my opinion. Both are profitable, quite frankly. I make decent amount of support on both, and that's why I co-stream like I do. Overall, I don't even look at views anymore, because views mean nothing on YouTube. About 2 months ago, YouTube flipped this switch behind the scenes that made it so that people who watch with ad block don't get counted in your view counts anymore. So all my views went down, but my revenue is the same or better. So why do I care if my views went down? It doesn't affect me at all. It's like, oh, your stream views went down. Yeah, but my revenue's up. So why do I give a shit? What it means is that there was dead weight there, right? That I wasn't ever going to benefit from anyway. So I don't care that the views don't count anymore. The views are literally worthless. They don't mean a damn thing to me. I'm more free now to do more things that I want to do because I'm doing better financially. We can buy a game on a whim. I can upgrade equipment on a whim because I can afford it now. Okay, my setup, as you can see, dramatically better than it has ever been before, with better lighting, better visuals, audio massively improved, the gameplay quality massively improved, everything. Like when I played Call of Duty on Friday, I jumped right into it on mouse and keyboard with surround sound and, playing at a level way better than what I used to do, and that's good. That's excellent. So, I mean, to give you some perspective, right? It used to be I would sit here with a peach fuzz camera, the awful visual audio quality, playing poorly, and everyone would just laugh and say, wow, he's behind the times, ha ha ha. The other day, I come on stream with a sweater, a Street Fighter sweater, that I believe was like 150, 175 bucks. I bought it last year. I pre-ordered it. I finally got it. I wear it on stream. Now, all people talk about is how I spent money on a sweater. And it's like, yeah, because I have money now. Because I can afford to buy a nice sweater if I want. Because that's what happens when you have money because people like you and support you. Get it? That's correct. That's actually correct. Yes, that is right. That's not like drama. That's not over-exaggeration. I can buy a nice sweater for myself if I want because I have the right to do that because I make good money and I could spend it. You see? That's how it works in life. A lot of people don't understand that and they're very angry or jealous. Like, no, I can buy whatever I want. And you like it. Anyway, thank you, Nick Smith, for $2. He says, here today it's ties. Happy Sunday, my lord. Well, thank you very much to Nick. I appreciate that. From Steve Jones, I received a $2 tip, and he says, oh, shoes, Phil. Now, those are two ancient references from old school YouTube that most of you today probably have no idea who Steve Jones was or what the oh, shoes, Phil reference means either, right? You have no idea. But that's cool. Shinken25 tipped $1 and says, why do you subtract support from when you get memberships but not super chats because YouTube keeps a third? Because it's impossible to figure it out. It's literally impossible to figure out exactly how much of each super chat contribution you're getting or not getting. You don't even know until a couple days pass. After like 2-3 days, YouTube analytics will update and then you'll finally see what you actually made on any given stream. I know you say, oh, it's a third. It's not. It's actually this weird variable rate dependent on these exchange. Like, for example, Kane just did a super chat, New Zealand. I have no clue how much of that YouTube keeps because they keep different amounts for different currencies too. It's weird what they do. And there's just no way to know. So you're right. I do. Essentially, I am overestimating the amount of income that I make on YouTube because I don't actually know what cut they take. Okay. For memberships, it's easy. I know I have a $4 membership. I keep $3 out of each membership. I know that for a fact. For a super membership, which is $10, I keep 7. And for the $20 membership, I think I keep 15. So I kind of know the cuts. I know off the top of my head the memberships. It's almost impossible to figure out super chat, so there's no point. I'm not going to sit here with a fucking calculator like I'm an accountant, We're gonna estimate. The truth is everything's estimates anyway. And all these idiots, like I heard there's these people who are tracking every single piece of income that I receive. They literally count every sub, every kick, every super chat, every tip, every membership. They try to estimate my KCIP revenue. They try to figure out exactly the money I make. Wrong. You'll literally never know what I make because you have absolutely no clue what real amounts I keep or don't. You don't know the taxes I pay. You don't know anything. Okay, you just don't. Every single tip that I receive, you have no actual visual confirmation that any of the tips are real or fake or whatever. So literally every tip I've ever said I made, I might have never received, or I may actually be getting way more than I'm saying. Like sometimes I might say I made $1 tip and I actually got 10. How would you know? You wouldn't. Because you're an idiot and you're just trying to get into someone else's business that there's no way you could ever track it or know what the fuck you're talking about. So That is so it's just so funny to me. You get these crazy people. Well, why isn't he counting this like this, but this like that? No one cares. Even I don't care. It's not that serious. I'm just trying to give credit to people for their contributions or whatever. I'm trying to be positive and be like, hey, let's do a shout out for someone or whatever. It doesn't actually matter if someone gave $10 and I received 7 or 8. Does it matter? It doesn't. It really doesn't. Only these weird obsessive people would care about that kind of shit. It's just bizarre behavior. Someone tipped $1.50, says, I enjoyed the first Outer Worlds, and I heard this one is just more of the same. Well, if it is, then at the very least, I think that the exploration of the environments and some of the missions, sorry, my nose itches, some of the missions and dialogue might do well and be entertaining. But man, the combat might be boring. So I guess we're going to have to really see how it goes. I really have no idea. All right. Someone tipped another $3 as Steve Jones and says, I'm looking forward to your Splinter Cell Conviction playthrough. Hope the channel doesn't get shut down. Yep, that's the original reference of actually, that was the second time ever that I got copyright issues on YouTube. I was playing Splinter Cell Conviction and someone pretended that they were a Ubisoft employee and tried to hit me with false copyright strikes. So I contacted Ubisoft and they said, no, we didn't do that. That's someone impersonating an employee. So then YouTube updated the claim, and instead of saying Ubisoft claimed, it just said Steve Jones claimed. And everyone was like, who's Steve Jones? And Ubisoft was like, we don't have anyone for us that works for us that's Steve Jones. So it was just weird, stupid thing. At that point, like, no one was abusing YouTube's copyright system. I was one of the first people to get false strikes. So actually, it was like a groundbreaking thing. People were like, what the hell? People would actually abuse YouTube's system, even though it's illegal to do that, and you could be prosecuted for it. Yeah, now today everyone does it. Back then, no one did it. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe that would happen. So Kane did a $3.49 New Zealand super chat. Let's see what that conversion is. I don't know what a New Zealand dollar is like. It just says NZ. Okay. That was $3.49. It's the equivalent of $1.96. Thank you to Kane for that. I will front you the 4 cents, and we'll count that as $2. So Kane says, any interest in the new Kirby Air Riders game? There is interest. The problem is I can't play it. My Switch 2 no longer works with the Ethernet port, and I have no idea why. I don't know if it's actually the Switch 2 dock. I don't know if it's the actual Switch 2 console, but it just doesn't work. And I'm not spending $70+ to get a new replacement dock to test to see if it's just the dock. Imagine if I spent $70 on a replacement dock and then it's the console. So I wasted $70. It's not worth it. So the thing is, do I have internet? Yes. Can I download games on the Switch 2? Yes. Can I do things like Pokemon trading or stuff like that? Yes. But active like gameplay over wireless internet doesn't really work. It's too laggy. So I can't play active like if I wanted to play Mortal Kombat. If I wanted to play Mario Kart World right now, I can't anymore. My Switch 2 just doesn't have online play. It's screwed up. So Kirby Air Riders is a game that's a racing game. Primarily, it's something that you would want to do online against other people. Mine would lag out. So there's no point in even getting the game. In addition to that, we already played multiple racing games this year. None of them worked. Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, they're not working. The racing game genre doesn't work on my channel for whatever reason. So there's no point in buying a third game in the genre that's still not going to work. It should be under warranty. Send it in. Oh, so you want me to send in my Switch 2 under warranty so I don't have a Switch 2 for like 2-3 months while Nintendo slow boats the repair process and sends me back a refurbished one? Because that's what happens, right? You don't get your original unit back. All they do is they take in the broken one and they give you another one that already had a different issue that they claim they fixed. So you're getting someone else's used Switch 2 as the refurb. And it takes them months to do it because they take it in, then they have to sit on a shelf. Then finally, after like 3 weeks, some tech will turn it on to test it to verify the problem. And once the problem is verified, then they send you the replacement. I know how this works because I did this many times with the Xbox 360 back in the day when I had so many red rings. You're acting like, oh, it's busted. Just take it into the Nintendo store and on the fly get a swap for a new Switch 2. That's not how it works at all. Warranty systems don't work like that in any way, shape, or form. Buy a new one because a successful streamer would just buy a new one. It would be no deal at all, big deal at all. What makes you think I want to spend that much money again on another Switch 2? I could, but I'm not giving Nintendo more money. The first Switch should fucking work. When you buy a Switch 2, it doesn't work. Why would you reward Nintendo with another $500? Are you retarded? You don't reward the company that just effed you over with more money. That's just on principle. I would never do that. Are you stupid? No, I will continue to play my Switch 2 for games that I want to play. Right now, I'm in the midst of a Pokemon playthrough that I'm really enjoying. Okay, I'm sure there'll be a few more, like Metroid Prime 4 is coming up. I'll play that. Then it'll collect dust, and I'll occasionally play it from time to time. But there is no way that I'm going to sit here and keep buying Switch 2s because they don't know how to make the console. I'm not a dumbass. No, I've heard that PC prices are going up again. Yes, I did. I actually heard that when I bought this streaming and capture PC last year. Remember, I got it at like Black Friday prices. Apparently, that was the right way to go. I've actually heard that PC component prices are exponentially increasing now because what's happening now is people are using PCs. Remember years ago, it used to be, because people are now Bitcoin mining and that's why the prices went up. Well, now people are now buying PCs up for AI. They're using them to run AI algorithms, AI devices, things like that. So because of that, now again, PC component prices are spiking and skyrocketing because of the rise of AI. So apparently, I actually did a really good thing buying this last year and doing the upgrades when I did. If I had waited and dragged my feet, I probably would be really bad off right now. So very happy to be in the situation I'm at with a nice gaming PC, a nice capture streaming PC, a setup that's gorgeous and working. Excellent. Thank you, guys. RAM prices doubled. I bought 32 gigs for 100. Now it's 210. Jeez, that's nuts. Frosted Shard says, you should reciprocate a trivia mini game to Wings in the next interview, like he did with WWE Trivia. Like what? What kind of a... See, here's the thing. Wings knew about me because Wings has watched my content and followed me for years. He admitted to such. He said, I've watched your playthroughs of Fallout. I've watched your playthroughs of Dark Souls. A lot of times, This Is How You Don't Play, but he still watched it, like he knows me. I don't know a lot about Wings. I don't. So, like, what kind of trivia could I hit him with that you think would work? FPS trivia? What kind of FPS trivia is there? Is there FPS trivia? A Skyrim quiz? I thought that Fallout was the one that he had played the most. A fast food quiz? Ask him about the 1v1 against Syndicate. What about it? That was his original 1v1 on Bog, right? Why would I ask him about that? We all know about that. I saw the documentary. It had it covered it in full. I don't have any questions about that. Apparently, Wings didn't even know the right answers. Like, I guess people bring this up after the fact. So people said, he asked you, who was the first Universal Champion of WWE? You answered Finn Balor. He said, incorrect, Chris Jericho. You were right, and he was wrong. Yeah, I guess Chris Jericho was the first undisputed champion after beating The Rock and Triple H on the same, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin on the same night. And he got the undisputed championship. But I was right. The Universal was actually Finn Balor. He had the wrong answer. Cabal says he loves RPGs, but doesn't get much support on them. I watch a lot of his Diablo 2 Resurrected streams. Sounds like a common thing between us, doesn't it? I love RPGs too, but it's so hard to get support for RPGs, man. It's ridiculously tough. Final Laugh says, ask him about his passion for Souls games and how they bring him Zen. That's something I might bring up. Because like I said, I think like for him, he calls them his depression streams. Where I guess what he says is when he plays Souls games, he could just talk about whatever, chill with his audience and, like vent about his depression. Right? But the way I see it is those are his chill streams. Do you see what I mean? Those are his streams where he gets to relax and not have to worry so much about stuff. What is going on with memberships? They're not working. Someone just dropped 20 memberships and those are not showing up on the stream. This is weird. What is going on today? Membership pop-ups are not working, but I think Super Chat pop-ups are. right? Or are they not working either? So, by the way, this is a brand new account gifting all these subs, so they're fake. Yeah, these are fake. So, whoever said that Keemstar closed the Argentinian loophole, no, he didn't, because here it is again. So, let me just ban this idiot now. Probably someone just messing with me to make me think that this would be real. It's not. These are fake memberships. FYI. But you notice they're not popping up. Are pop-ups not working today? Did any pop-ups work? Like when Kane did his super chat, did that pop up? When Nick Smith did his super chat, did that pop up? I know Nico Bellic's super chat popped up. That was $50. That one worked. It seems like membership pop-ups aren't working now. They're glitched. Ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, no, so memberships don't pop up at all, I guess, right now, which is weird. What 2025 games would I recommend? Well, you'll find that out sooner rather than later because I do a year-end series for the best games of the year, and I will be doing that either late December or early January. This year, I might go a little extra. I might actually try to do like actual edited video packages of each game that I liked or didn't like to play while I talk over them. Previous years, I didn't have video editing capability. Now I do. So I might actually put in a little bit of extra effort this year. We'll see what happens. Everyone who's getting a free membership, congrats. I don't get anything for those. They're all fake. It sucks that happens, but it is what it is. I can't stop the nonsense. YouTube has still not closed this loophole to this day. Pine Fruit asks, will I go back to Sub-Zero Mortal Kombat Mythologies? Yeah, I think we're doing that next. I think, when are we playing that next? I think Tuesday night? I think that's what we're going to do. Because people were really upset when I played WaveNet Mortal Kombat the other night. They were like, oh, this is the worst. It's so unbearable. And I agree. Like, the game is busted beyond belief. So I think we'll go back to Sub-Zero next time. See how that goes. No, I've never seen the movie Jawbreaker. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I know. I wonder, do you think YouTube is detecting fake sub or fake memberships? I don't think so, because it didn't pop up any today at all. Like 0 actually popped up. So super chats are popping up, but not memberships now. This is ridiculous. I'm just curious if I do a test. Like, I'm going to do a test membership right now, guys. The test works. So I have no idea why the test works, but not the actual membership pop-up. I have no idea. I have no clue. Well, these aren't real anyway, so I'm glad it's not spamming me with pop-ups, to be frank. What is this noise? Hold on. Hold on 1 second. It's going to be a sweaty one in the office today. Like I said, it's like 83 degrees already, and it's still early afternoon. It's probably going to get really hot in here. Ugh. Sucks. I had a string like 2 weeks. It was super cool and nice, and now all of a sudden today, temperatures go up for no reason. Full sun outside, no clouds, and now it's going to be hot in here. Sucks. Stuart, thank you for a gifted membership. That's a real one. And as you can see, yeah, it still didn't show up. So the memberships don't work anymore with the pop-ups. They're glitched. Figure that one out. Figure that one out. The memberships are not working right now. They were working previously, and at some point they have stopped working and they don't pop up anymore. I guess someone broke it. All right, it's working. It's just the membership pop-ups aren't working today. I guess it's another glitch. It is what it is. If someone becomes a member or does that, I'll shout it out myself. Thank you to Kane for super chat. He says, I got a gifted sub. I'll pay it forward. At work on iOS, I can't gift. Do you have an RPG hidden gem you would love that usually goes under the radar? Like an RPG hidden gem. By the way, that's about $5 of support, so thank you to Kane for that. No, but back in there's a lot of PS1 era RPGs no one talks about, like Wild Arms, Suikoden. Everyone talks about SNES era, and everyone talks about like PS2 era, but that middle era in between, it seems to have been lost. And that's a shame because there was a lot of good RPGs of that era. No, I will never play or check out 2XKO. Absolutely not. Paper Mario 2, I believe you're talking about the 1,000-Year Door. I bought it and we played it very shortly earlier this year. People wanted it for a marathon. So I did actually buy it and play it for like an hour during said marathon or 2 hours, something like that. But we never got back to it. And I told everyone, hey, I would go back and play it if you wanted. But as of now, no one's asked for it. So that's why we never went back to it. All right. Anonymous $1.50 tipper says RPG gem for me will always be Dishonored. A shame it never went anywhere else. Well, there were 2 of them in a spinoff. Well, not really a spinoff, but a DLC. It did fine for the time, but the thing is they wanted more from it, and it wasn't really growing. Like, it wasn't gaining player base. It wasn't becoming a bigger title. Dishonored 1 and 2 didn't really grow exponentially, so they were like, is it really worth investing in further? And the answer is no. They did not want to do that. I know nothing about importing characters between Outer Worlds 1 and 2. I don't think so, right? I don't think that's the case. I think you make a whole new character. That's my understanding of it. All right, guys, last chance if you want to ask me a question or if you would like to support the stream before we go on a brief break, and then I come back and we start with Outer Worlds 2. I received a $10 tip from You're Not Funny. He says, here's some money to support the Outer Worlds 2 playthrough. Thank you to You're Not Funny for $10. That's a real $10 tip. That's not a test. Thank you, You're Not Funny. Biggest tip of the day so far. Thank you so much. Great head start at 116 of support and climbing. Very nice, guys. Thank you so much. Haven't even booted the game yet. I appreciate that. Of course, I'll be playing Resident Evil Requiem. I play all the new Resident Evil games, and this one will be no exception. Nope, never played Lisa the Painful. No, I've never seen Mean Girls. What makes you think I would want to see Mean Girls? What would urge me to watch that movie? All right, folks. I think it's time to end the show. So, FYI, this week we did a show today. I'm going to do a show on Tuesday, and then we're going to do a show on Thursday. Reason being, I wanted to do 3 podcasts this week. However, with the release of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 on Friday, I don't want to do a podcast on Friday. So basically, I'm trying to time it along with, the days that it makes sense. So there will be no podcast tomorrow, but it will return on Tuesday. Then no podcast on Wednesday. We'll have a last podcast of the week on Thursday. Friday will be Call of Duty all day. And then when I come back on Sunday, that podcast should summarize my thoughts about Call of Duty from Friday. Okay? Alrighty, everybody. Thank you. You have been a great audience this morning. I absolutely, positively appreciate you chilling with me, supporting the stream, and having a great time. All right? The podcast is ending. Thank you for watching. I'll return on Tuesday, but in the meantime, I hope you'll stick around for Outer Worlds 2, Tormented Souls 2, Pokemon, and some Truck Sim. Thank you all for watching the Level 1 podcast. I will see you later this week. Bye-bye.